Ottawa has brought in a new supplement for people with disabilities. Now, our guest says the Canada Disability Benefit is well-intentioned, but it has loopholes that could benefit private insurance companies. We are joined by Nainesh Kotak. He's a personal injury lawyer with Kotak Law. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
First off, just remind us, what is this new disability benefit? Who is it aimed at helping?
Right. A very well-intentioned piece of legislation that is designed to help disabled Canadians who are in poverty. And we know approximately 20% of disabled Canadians are, in fact, in poverty. It's designed to give them a minimum amount of money per month to sort of take them over that poverty line. The altruistic purpose is not to have this benefit taken away by any other scheme, but it's supposed to be in addition to that. And that's the intention behind it.
Sure. Now, this includes people who are on long-term disability from work and are receiving payments from an insurance company?
It very well could. So, you know, the legislation itself is quite bare. You've got about 2.5 pages. So we're still waiting for regulations to come in, which are going to take about a year to come in. The Act has received royal assent.
But is it in effect, then, the legislation?
Royal assent, but still you need regulations. It's bare bone right now.
Oh, so people aren't getting the benefit
no,
yet?
No, okay. That's going to take about a year.
Okay.
So, interesting, by the time the piece of legislation reached the Senate, alarm bells started to ring. Disability groups started, talking about this and made submissions to the Senate itself, because the bill had gone there, Bill C-22, to say, look, Section 9 of the legislation talks about no offsets or deductions under any other act of Parliament, which is a federal act, but it's absent on insurance contracts. And the committee looked at that. They looked at the constitutionality of it, because, you're dealing with private insurance. Is that provincial? But the federal, it's a federal spending.
Sure.
They came back with specific amendments. One of those amendments was, look, no offset deduction for private insurance or other similar trust instruments. That was sort of the general wording that went back. So Parliament accepted, there's a real rush to put this legislation through, and rightly so. There was a real rush for this. But they rejected that amendment on the basis that it will raise constitutional issues. Some of the provinces might not be happy about it. Groups could challenge the legislation. So we're left really with a loophole. And look, the CPP, Canada Pension Plan Disability benefits, that came in, and it wasn't supposed to be deducted by insurance companies. They amended their policies and put it in there that it is deducted. So now you pay for private policy, or your employer pays for the policy, and CPP disability benefits are deducted despite the premium. The real danger here is that this benefit will also be offset or deducted. So you have shifting. You've paid for a contract, you've paid for insurance, your employer yourself, and now the burden getting shifted over to the taxpayer. There's a real danger of this. Now, I know the Canadian Life and Health Insurance Association has made submissions in the past.
Yeah, because we did hear from them. Sorry to cut you off there. So we heard from the life insurers group. Right. Let's have a quick look at what they told us, because they said, we have pressed to have this a social benefit, not seen as income, and therefore not subject to clawback. And they say there is no loophole in the legislation. The design of the benefit is not complete, but we'll press for it to be included as a social benefit. So they seem to be saying we're not planning a clawback here.
Well, first of all, they made a submission to the Standing Committee at Parliament, similar wording, one letter or so to the Senate, similar wording. The problem right now, the way disability insurance contracts are worded, they reference deduction and offset to any federal disability benefit without distinguishing whether it is a social benefit or not. So this is the real danger. And this association, the Canadian Life and Health Insurance Association, is not binding on different insurance companies. It's sort of almost like a self-regulation type of thing, but it's not binding. So I think there still is a very serious concern. The way disability insurance policies are worded now, this benefit, in my opinion, could be deducted. And it's good. They're suggesting it should be a social benefit. The danger is that's not enough. The insurers need to come out and say, yes, we get it. This may be like an ODSP where there maybe is a payback. We get this, but we're not going to offset. We're not going to deduct, because the same problem happened with CPP disability benefits. The exact same thing happened, and they, as I said, they in fact deduct and offset CPP disability benefits, despite the fact that premiums are paid to receive a certain amount of benefit from a disability insurer, and they don't actually get that full benefit because of CPP disability. So there's a real risk here, and I think, other than statements to the public, I think they need to make a real written commitment to this. Each disability insurance say, hey, we will not offset, reduce, or deduct this benefit because we realize it is supposed to be a top-up to keep Canadians out of poverty and not something to enrich the insurance companies.
You, I think, say that the provinces could get in on the act here as well and cut their payments as well, do a clawback at their level.
There is a real risk of this, and now I think the federal government is supposed to be negotiating and talking to the provinces about this. And it may, we're dealing with Ontario Works, Ontario Disability Support Plan, where there's going to be clearly interplay there. For the disability world, that being the private policies I've discussed, ultimately it may mean an amendment to provincial insurance acts. So they say you cannot deduct this amount. And we're hoping it wouldn't come to that because getting the provinces are sort of tied up with many other issues, and getting them to really take a close, hard look at this piece of legislation may be quite difficult.